Ladies and gentle people, man, the crypto market is looking bullish. It is absolutely unbelievable. I think so many people are gonna get completely wrecked in this market. I'm gonna tell you exactly why. So if you're curious, like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on, check out the Patreon for private sales and more. And let's dive right into it. So let's start a little bit on the shorter time frame before we get into the real fun stuff, okay? If we look at Bitcoin, and we have to zoom in a little bit, of course, you see that it's in this triangle right here, and it looks like we broke above, didn't work out, got back in it, and now broke above again, and it looks like, hey, we are retesting this triangle. So if it really, succeeds to hold above it, we could see a pretty big spike up, and that could be an enormous wick to the upside. Like I said before, I think that could go to around $87,000. That's the first big level if we break all-time highs. So let's see. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We could, of course, also first do this and then do this, right? It doesn't matter. We can also fall back in it, but eventually we will be very bullish. Now, there are some people that say like, hey, I think that this cycle is going to end soon. I think that these people are going to get wrecked, man, to be honest. One of my favorite crypto analysts, Eric Crown, said it as well in one of his videos, like, yeah, maybe end of 2024. And although I love his content, I think he's a smart guy and he knows what he's talking about. I don't agree with him on that, for one very simple reason. He said that the Bitcoin, if you look at the Bitcoin chart on the monthly, right, the stochastic RSI, it is already oversold. Okay, yeah, cool. Let's make some counter arguments to that, right? If you look, we are now oversold. Definitely, completely oversold. Or overbought, sorry, wrong word, Dutch, nah, just stupid, but overbought, right? So if you feel like, hey, we are overbought, we should go down. Well, in fact, in the period that we are overbought is actually where we go up. Here we were very overbought, we go up, right? If you sold when we were overbought, you would have sold Bitcoin in this cycle for $300 instead of $20,000, okay? Now, what I checked out is this. From the moment in the previous cycles we got into the overbought territory until the top of that bull market, in this cycle, the first cycle, it took 17 months. Right now, I must say, like, hey, that cycle, it was all different, right? Bitcoin just came out and there wasn't really a 4-year cycle yet. So that was moving quite different than it usually does now. So if we should take that into account, I don't know, but okay, 17 months. Here, from the moment we got overbought until the top, 25 months. In this last bull market, from the moment we got overbought until the top, 28 months. Now we got overbought from this point. We are now in with 10 months. Right? So if we look at averages, right? 17, 25, 28, average is 23, right? If we look at that, 23 months, it will take us to May 2025. However, if we don't look at the first cycle, but we just look at the last 2 cycles, which are clearly showing, hey, 4 years, then we could say like, well, 25, 28, it's like 26 and a half, give or take, right? So if we take it to there, let's say 27, that's September 2025, right? Could play out to, a longer period, a shorter period, but I, based on this, don't see the cycle ending soon. Nevertheless, it doesn't mean that I am right. So don't put your eggs in the I am right basket. That usually doesn't work out. So it's definitely not a bad idea to start selling by the end of 2024. But I do think a lot of people get wrecked because they say like, yeah, well, we made a new all-time high before the halving, so it's different. Okay, go ahead, sell everything you have, and then watch the price go up even further. FOMO back in, buy the top, panic sell the bottom, get wrecked. Like, that's what a lot of people are going to do. But a lot of people use that as an argument, which I don't know if that's like super accurate to use. Because the cycle happens from if you want to call it, halving to halving, 4 years, to halving, 4 years, to the halving, 4 years, or from the top to the top, 4 years, to the top, 4 years, to the top, 4 years, from the bottom to the bottom, 4 years, to the bottom, 4 years, to the bottom, 4 years, so to the bottom, 4 years, right? That's how I look at it. And what happens in the middle of these 4 years, yeah, whatever, that's always different, right? That's always different. I mean, here in this cycle, we went down with like 86%. Right? But in the cycle after that, we went down with 83%. People said, this is different, right? But also, if you look at this cycle, right, this cycle in 2019, basically, yeah, we went up with 330% in a matter of like 5 months. That happened so fast. People said, dude, up so fast? Completely different, right? Then COVID came. We went down 70%. People said, oh man, this is so different. Right now we went down with, 70 something percent, 77%. People said, it's different. Now we are going up harder before the halving. So people now say, now it's different, right? The thing though is we pumped. What's the reason why we got up so much? Because the macro is doing so well? No, it's just like the macro is doing what the macro is doing. It's nothing different, actually. No, I mean, if you want to put the narrative on it, you could say it's the Bitcoin ETF, right? The Bitcoin ETF made sure that a lot of money was flowing into crypto, and therefore we pumped so hard. So if crypto is going up because of the ETFs, cool. That's very Bitcoin and crypto related. But why do bear markets happen? If you look, for example, the end of 2021, why did we go down? Because Bitcoin was going down? No, look at the S&P. The S&P was also in a bear market, right? The macro was doing bad. So Bitcoin goes into a bear market because of the macro, not because of Bitcoin. So the fact that we now went up harder because of the Bitcoin ETF doesn't mean we go down faster because of whatever, right? Like that didn't change. So again, my theory is, hey, 4-year cycle is intact. If we now top out way before or way after end of 2025, I would say like, okay, it's not intact anymore, but you can only tell by then, right? Now you can guess, and if you're lucky, you may be right and be like, I'm so smart. No, you were just guessing and you were right. But let's not, it's money, right? If we want to guess or go to a casino, let's not do that. Let's take a look at the charts and what we actually have. And what we have is a 4-year cycle that works out really well. What happens during that cycle, tomato, it doesn't really matter to me. And there is major bullish news. If you look at this, Hong Kong approving Bitcoin ETFs. Man, that's funny as fuck. I mean, China was always like, no, ban Bitcoin. They banned Bitcoin more than 8 times or so, right? It was absolutely crazy. And now they're getting ETFs. What the hell, man? So that's beautiful. So China, the land where a lot of people have problems buying Bitcoin, can now all buy Bitcoin. China is a big fucking land, right? South Korea will approve Bitcoin ETFs. Chinese fund managers launching Bitcoin ETFs. US Bitcoin ETF pushed the price from 38 to 63K. Not completely true, of course, because there's a lot of retail that also helped with that. But yes, from that price point until this price point, that's because of the ETFs, right? This bull market is just getting started. This is not that you should think about like, okay, 80K, maybe 100K, then we top out end of 2024. Like, why? What's broken? What's wrong? Are you scared? Come on, man. Every market, everybody always had a reason to say this time was different. So far, everybody always lost with that thought. Don't be one of them this cycle. This time is not different. Maybe it will be. We'll see by then, right? Don't bet against everything you have, right? Like, no, like, don't say like, yeah, I'm not gonna stand in my garden because I can get struck by lightning. There's a very high chance that you won't. And if you are in your garden and you get struck by lightning, it's not that you can say like, hey, see, I was right, so predictable. No, you were lucky. Well, lucky. It's coincidence, right? So that's not really how it works. So I think that Bitcoin has a very long way to go. And I think a lot of people are kind of scared to the thought of that. Like they try to outsmart the market by saying like, no, this time is going to be different. And I'm so smart. I know this already. You might be the one that's getting wrecked because you think it's going to be different. Like that's how a lot of people get wrecked as well, right? But so far it is holding up pretty well. So no, I don't think it's going to be any different now. What's still interesting, and that hasn't changed yet, but the altcoin market still has 50% to go to reach its previous all-time high. Bitcoin is already above it. Okay, so altcoins are lagging a lot. They went up just as much as Bitcoin, right? So altcoins haven't outperformed Bitcoin. Bitcoin haven't outperformed altcoins. They went up just as much, but they still have a longer way to go because altcoins got wrecked harder in the bear market. So 50% to go for altcoins collectively. So at a certain point, people will look at Bitcoin and be like, okay, yeah, cool, I made some money with this, but there's not really much reward anymore and a lot of risk to the downside. So let's rotate this into altcoins, and then we'll get our famous altcoin season that we are all waiting for. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really, really, really fun. The Bitcoin dominance is still, pushing, but it can't really seem to break through. Usually, this is a bullish pattern. But I don't see the reason for the Bitcoin dominance to go up much further than this, especially with with an Ethereum ETF on the horizon. Also, if you look at the dominance, but you exclude USDT, USDC, Ethereum, Cardano, and XRP, the coins that we don't really feel like, okay, this is what we are going to invest in to get rich, right? More like stable coins. Then you get this chart and was climbing up, broke down, retest maybe, rejection. I don't know, man. Doesn't look that strong anymore to me. Lower lows, lower highs. So that's going down pretty hard. This is all on the monthly time frame. So this is a very long time frame thing. If we, however, look at the altcoin market right now, altcoins are sitting in the same kind of triangle as Bitcoin was, but Bitcoin already broke out. The altcoin market hasn't broken out yet, right? So again, altcoins are lagging. Keep that in mind. So if Bitcoin makes a move, man, assume that altcoins are going to do the same. And here in this market as well, right? Altcoins, they were overbought and the top came in 20 months later. This one was really short though. Here, well, maybe not. Here we were overbought and the top came in, let's see here, 18 months later. Now we are overbought from here and we are now sitting at month number 8. Okay, number 8. So let's say 20 months later also lines up with that maybe a little bit later in 2025. I don't see a good reason why this will be faster, to be honest. Nevertheless, like I said, scale out in time, right? You want a dollar cost in, you want a dollar cost out of crypto. Don't lump sum it at one time. Also, again, I love this chart because this chart is showing exactly if new people are coming into crypto. That's the red line, social metrics, YouTube views, etc. And yeah, they are coming in, but they're coming in like the last cycle, right? We made a new all-time high. We had an all-time high right here, and we just broke it. And if you look at it like that, that's when new people really were coming to the party. Yeah, that's kind of where we are right now as well. We just made a new all-time high. People are coming to the party, but it's not like everybody's grandmother is in yet. So we still have to wait on that. And that's going to pump our backs a lot, right? The average retail. Also, if we take a look at the total crypto market cap, and the fair value, you can see that we are now hovering around the fair value, right? The fair value is kind of where we are right now. In a bull market, we are not sitting at the fair value. In a bear market, we are sitting below the fair value. And in a bull market, we are sitting above the fair value. Yeah, I don't know, man. Way above it right here, 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 and at the fair value right here. So we should still go pretty much above it. And if we take it to May 2025, the fair value is sitting at $36 trillion. We currently have a market cap of 2.5, right? That's like a 14x, right? From this 15x from this point. Right now, we don't have to go all the way to this upper band again like we did do here, here, and here, but even close to it should take us pretty high. So yeah, that's quite interesting. So that shows like that not even time-wise, but also price-wise, it would make sense that we have a lot of time to go in this crypto market. Yeah, the best way, in my opinion, to position yourself is through altcoins. I mean, the Bitcoin party was nice. We had our fun with Bitcoin. I mean, if we do take a look at Bitcoin, then here we go. Like I said, you know, if you take it from the bottom until where we are right now, Bitcoin is up 350%. If you take a look at the others, right? So top 125, excluding the top 10, it's up 360%, give or take. So that's basically the same, right? But, you know, a lot of altcoins outperformed and a lot of altcoins underperformed. So, whatever. But the returns were the same. But the risk for altcoins is, of course, a lot higher. So it made a lot of sense to not mess around with altcoins unless you like to take risk. But for the people that feel like, yeah, you know, Bitcoin giving the same returns and it's quite safe, right? Relative safe, then be in Bitcoin. However, like I said, everybody that's invested in Bitcoin now is in profit, right? Except the people that bought this exact wick top right here, of course. But basically everybody in Bitcoin is in profits. So not everybody in altcoins is in profits. Matter of fact, a lot of people are not, right? A lot of people, they bought the tops in 2021 and they're still trying to play even, let alone make profits. So risk reward right now, yeah, altcoins have a lot more upside to go. So therefore, in my opinion, it is better to invest in altcoins right now. If we do take a look at the others chart, and we divide it by the Bitcoin market cap, so basically every altcoin on its Bitcoin pair collectively, you can see that we came down, we have a nice bounce, you come down a little bit again, but overall we are in this major uptrend. So long term, altcoins in the top 125 are outperforming Bitcoin. Right, they are outperforming Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is losing against altcoins, and that makes sense. I mean, in 2017, there wasn't like a lot of altcoins around and a lot of quality altcoins as well. Now we do have that. So and people start to believe that. So altcoins still have to catch up. And we got up a little bit right here with around 50% or so. But even going back from this point to the all-time high is another 150%, right? So that's a 2x right there. Yeah, even if Bitcoin stays flat and this happens, then altcoins can do a 2x collectively, and your bag might 3-4x depending on what altcoins you hold. So therefore, I feel like, yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense to be in Bitcoin right now, but do choose the, you know, a bag, a portfolio that works for you, right? Don't go fully into the meme coins or whatever. You might lose everything, of course. But divided, and that's what I'm doing, right? I'm in AVAX, I'm in Beam, I'm in IMX, I'm in Ethereum, I'm in Ronin, I'm in these like infrastructure kind of plays. And apart from that, I'm in the more low cap stuff as well that can provide more value and upside potentially for me when the bull market really takes off. But you know, it's also high risk for if the crypto market sees a good correction, because yeah, Bitcoin is showing strength right now. On the other hand, you can also look at it like, hey, this is really parabolic. Where the fuck is the correction that we usually get, right? We always get big corrections. Where is it? I don't see it. Maybe it will come, right? Maybe it won't, but so far it always does. So I want to wrap it up right here. Short video, but yeah, now is the cycle over early? I doubt it. I don't see an argument for that. You know, making a new all-time high before the halving is not an argument in my opinion. Stochastic RSI being overbought right now is not an argument in my opinion. These things happen, man. So let's find out. Maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't matter because we have to scale out anyway. So guys, if you like the video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on, and I'll see you tomorrow.